Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Colmatt and this is part 2 to the permadeath playthrough. Now if you guys watched part 1, we left off and I didn't know exactly what to do about a ship because I spawned a few hundred feet away from a trading outpost, and so I left a question for you guys to answer on what I should do as far as ship wise, and I kind of got conflicting answers. One option that I did see that I really liked was to use a shuttle. And so I have never actually used a shuttle, so I think I'm going to go with that. I did also see another comment insinuating to maybe do Twitch drops and or the expedition rewards, so I may end up going with the golden vector as well at some point. But I think for the time being we're going to start off with the shuttle, just kind of see what we can find. I don't remember exactly where the little outpost was, but let me hop in my ship and it should be a little bit easier to find that way. I gotta be really careful with those. I've noticed I'm so used to playing normal that I often do that little jump move, and that is gonna end up, I think, costing me my life at some point if I'm not more careful with it. Yeah, so it's just right here. So again, it was really close to where we were at. Hopefully this sounds good. And like I said, I know there were some technical difficulties in the first episode, but as far as I know, I think I've fixed those issues. But I guess we're just going to wait and see what flies in shuttle-wise. Now, I'm not going to say no to any other ships. If there's like a really good hauler or a really cool-looking fighter, I'll also take those. But we're mainly going to be looking for the shuttles. East. Okay, that's very expensive. We don't want to be looking at those haulers. But I do see a shuttle here. 6 million. So that does have quite a bit of space, but I think that's going to be a little bit out of my price range. I don't have any money at all now, I don't believe. But have some stuff that I could probably sell. Let's see what he wants, because I am going to trade in the current ship. I think it's only worth a few $100,000. Let's see. Again, I only have 200 units, so okay, to exchange it, he's going to give us a pretty good amount. I didn't realize, I guess they bumped this up. This used to only be worth like a few $100,000. I didn't realize that starter ship's worth as much as it is now, so that's actually really good. So we're going to need about 2 million roughly. Hopefully we can get a shuttle that's not as storage efficient, I suppose. I do want storage, but at the same time I don't want to have to save up a few million, because that's going to be quite hard to do, especially in permadeath. Let's see what we can sell. We have cobalt. I think I'm going to go ahead and condense that down. We'll sell these vortex cubes. I don't really ever use those, and that's really all we got. We got some silver we could probably sell, but again, it's not really going to be worth quite that much. So let's see what we can get for this ionized cobalt. So while I was waiting for the cobalt, actually still waiting for it to go through, there's a very Star Wars-esque looking ship. It's even got the little droid here on the wing, if you can see it. This is probably one of the cooler ships I've seen. I know a lot of people don't like these. I don't know, I guess you call these like TIE Fighter wings. I don't know what the official name is, but I really like this ship. If it wasn't out of my price range, I'd probably go ahead and try to buy it, but maybe we'll get lucky, and once I have some money, another one of those will fly in, because again, I'm mainly looking for a shuttle, but I'm not going to turn down a really nice looking, fighter hauler. So even after selling all that we could, even the ionized cobalt, we're only up to 38,000. Now I may hold off on doing the shuttle. I don't know. I guess I don't necessarily have to get one from here. I've already repaired the starter ship, so I may continue with it, and then just as soon as we have the money, we'll buy a shuttle or go with a different ship in general. I know that's kind of a cop-out way to do this, but I don't want 3 or 4 parts of this series to just be me saving money for the ship. So I think for the time being, we're just going to skip off on that. I did also, again, in the first episode, I know a lot of the stuff was cut out. I did end up finding an S-Class underwater module from one of the broken technologies. So that's actually really nice. I didn't want to go ahead and put it in my exosuit yet, just because, again, you don't really have that much room to begin with, and I didn't want to fill up the technology with that, so I'm going to hold off. I'm going to keep it though. I don't feel like selling it because I do feel like that'll be useful. Another thing that I actually probably could do is put in this oxygen recycler to help out. So we need 20 oxygen. We should just be able to purchase that. Okay, I guess we can't purchase that from here, so I am going to have to go up to the space station for that. So yeah, we're just going to continue on with the story for now. I will mark this with a custom marker, so that way we know exactly where this is at, so we can come back to it. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and just do the tutorial with the ship. So let's go ahead and fly out into space. It should just, I don't think I've done this yet, because this is actually the first time I've left this specific planet, so we should get the whole nonsense with like the the boosters and all that. This never wants to seem to work for me. Like I have to constantly press these buttons. I don't know if it's like this for you guys, but like a lot of times I'll have to do all of them back to back before it even counts the first one. See, I'm like holding down the RT and it's still not even registering that. There we go. That's finally went through. I wish they would fix that because it's not like a huge issue, but it is a little bit inconvenient. It's kind of an annoyance to have to deal with that. Now, one thing that's really cool too, a lot of you guys probably already knew this, but so they don't want you to go to the space station yet. That's going to be like a later part of the story. But if you see these lines here, these are actually like the trade routes, so you can follow these and they'll lead you to the space station, which in my case is pretty easy to see. Well, I say pretty easy to see, but it's right there smack dab in the center where I'm aiming. So that's super useful, especially in this beginning part. It'll save you some time from having to go back and forth. So I'll just go ahead and fly there now, so that way whenever we get to the part where we have to teleport there, we don't have to fly back out. We just make our base and we can teleport straight there. And while we're flying, we will go ahead and just answer this communication. Oh, okay, never mind. Didn't realize it was going to kick us out. That's unfortunate. Moving forward too, I can narrate these if you guys want. For the most part, I'll probably just be quiet while it's going through, or I'll talk about random stuff while it's going through. But if you guys want me to narrate it, I can totally do that. It's no big deal. Alright, sweet. So here we are at the space station. I don't know how well this will be able to be heard because I have the music turned down, but you get to hear probably the best song in the whole game here. So I'll be quiet for that. And there it is. So again, I don't know. You only get to hear that song a few times. You hear it once whenever you start the game, and then I think maybe the only other time you hear it is whenever you get your like settlement on their planet. I don't know. Those are the only two times I can think of where you hear it. So I don't know if there's more than just that. We're gonna go ahead and customize our appearance. Not that I don't like the white astronaut. I do think that looks kind of cool, but I like to go with other stuff. Typically, I want to go with the I don't really care about the body shape, but we're gonna go with the head here, and I guess it's gonna be locked. Yeah, the Shroud of Freedom. Okay, unfortunately that is still locked right now, so I'll have to unlock that later. See what we can find. My favorite race is Korvax, so I guess for the time being we'll just go with Korvax, and we'll do not the short guy. We'll go with the big tall guy, and we'll go with Priest Entity Helmet because I do like that. We'll go pink because I rock with pink. I don't know if you guys can hear that, by the way, but my dogs like to make a lot of noise in the background, so if you guys do hear that, I'm super sorry about that, but I try to cut out as much of it as I can. I know sometimes they'll move while I'm talking, so it makes it a little bit more difficult to cut them out. Can't even tell what that's changing. I guess it's maybe the inside, I don't know. I'm gonna skip through this. I'll catch you guys once I get the rest of my outfit picked out. And so we finally have our character made. I'm gonna change this probably as soon as I get to the space anomaly, but for the time being, we'll go with, again, the pink. I'm a sucker for pink, and I really like the Korvax. Again, they're my favorite race, so pink Korvax is normally what gets put on, at least until we get the Shroud of Freedom. So as you guys could probably tell, whenever I was going through letting you listen to the song, I actually walked up to this wall terminal and there was no oxygen here. So I don't know if that's something that they've changed. I don't know if that's something that maybe permadeath you can't purchase oxygen, because I could have swore you could buy oxygen from up here. So unfortunately that's going to be a little bit annoying. I guess we'll just have to find our oxygen on the planets, maybe set up some sort of oxygen farm at some point. But that's fine. We don't really need it all that much. The oxygen rerouting is pretty useful, but we can live without it. We could trade for that ship, but I don't know if I'll be able to go for an asymmetrical ship. I like it whenever the wings are the exact same. Those kind of ones like that bother me. Plus, they're super tall. These ones like this, I'm not a huge fan. They're super tall, and it makes it really hard to see, especially if you fly in third person like me. But anyways, let's go ahead and just continue on with the story. Again, we'll probably get to the base, set up the base, and then we will see from there exactly what's going on. Alright, so we finally arrived at the destination, this broken technology. So again, I'll let this kind of play through. I'm not going to skip through it too fast, but I'm also probably not going to read over exactly all this. So there's the plans for our base computer and the terrain manipulator, which I believe we're going to need some... I actually can't remember. It's been so long since I've done this. So we need chromatic metal for the base computer, carbon nanotubes, and dihydrogen jelly. That shouldn't be too hard. I might actually have the material for that already. So, yeah. Let's see, how many do we need exactly. 2 carbon nanotubes, 1 dihydrogen jelly. So we got that. Let's see if we have enough for both of these. Oh, sweet. Okay. Well, that was very lucky that I went ahead and stockpiled on some carbon. Now we just gotta hope that we have any copper nearby. And with my luck, there probably is gonna be none nearby. So we got salt. Salt, okay. Well, that's good for chlorine farms if we want to set one of those up. Now again, chlorine farms may be a little bit not as good anymore. I don't know. I haven't really messed with it since the newest update. Wow, there is salt everywhere. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it looks like we did have 1 copper deposit. That was it, though, just 1. That's a pretty good distance away. Now, I don't feel like wasting any ship fuel, so we're just going to run there. Although, I don't know, it might be beneficial to actually fly there at this rate. We do have the terrain manipulator, though, so it's not going to be as bad. If we get caught out, you know, with our pants down, we can just quickly make a hole in the ground and easily save ourselves. But I suppose we will push onward. Now, I hope you all don't mind the jump cuts on the spots where I'm not really talking or not really doing anything. If it becomes an issue and you guys want to see like the unedited versions, just let me know and I'll post the full unedited versions of these. But I just know, like, from me personally, a lot of times when I watch some of these, I like the more edited versions. So I don't typically like to sit there and watch someone, you know, play for 15 minutes and only talk for a good 2 or 3 minutes of that, which I'm really bad at, because again, I'm not used to doing these Let's Plays, so it's going to be something new. Eventually in the future there'll probably be less cuts as I get more used to this sort of, you know, video, but we need to go ahead and make a hole. We're about to start taking damage, and that is not good. But yeah, again, for the time being, I'll stick with these edited videos, and just let me know if you'd rather see the full unedited versions. Because I know some people like to just turn videos like this on in the background while they also play No Man's Sky. That's something that I also like to do from time to time. And in those cases, I do like the, you know, long 20, 30, 40 minute long videos. But for the most part, I think most people like to stick with these 10-minute videos. So that's what I try to go with, 10, 15. Again, it's kind of hard to tell because when you record these, you don't count in the time for, you know, editing, so it's kind of hard to figure out exactly how long these videos are. And it looks like we have finally reached our destination. Now, this is a pretty small patch of copper, however, it should be more than enough, especially since we're on the smallest beam. This should be more than enough to make the 30 chromatic metal we need. So that is another thing, too. Again, this isn't really going to be a tutorial necessarily, but I know some people are kind of still new to the game, or maybe there's some stuff they don't know, because for the longest time I didn't realize you could even change the size of this. So obviously the smaller you go, the more resources you will get, and but the longer it'll take to make a hole. Whereas if you go big, you know, if you just needed to clear off some land, that's an easy way to do it. So with something like this, the smaller these deposits are, you know, you definitely want to go with the smaller little setting, because you're going to get a lot more back. I'm not going to say it's double or even triple, but it's very close to double or triple, if not double or triple. So we're probably going to go ahead and just grab all this here. I don't really see any reason to leave any of it behind, because chromatic metal is one of those things that you never really get over. You constantly need it throughout the game, so I like to just go ahead and stockpile as much as I can. But I also am not the kind of person who goes ahead and turns it all into chromatic metal. I like to keep some of it as copper, because copper, again, is one of those things that you kind of always need for anything, whether it's technology or just building stuff in general. But it's nice to have a good steady supply of both chromatic metal and copper. Okay, so we got all that. That was actually quite deeper than I thought it originally was. So we got quite a bit of copper, about, yeah, almost 400 copper, so that's plenty enough. I think, as far as I know, it's a 1-to-1 conversion on copper to chromatic metal, so that should have us quite a bit for quite some time. We are not going to mess with that Sentinel. I don't remember if they said that they were aggressive on this planet or not. But let's go ahead and start refining this. I'll probably go ahead and just... I'm not very particular where my base goes, so I'll probably just place it up here on the top of this, because, again, like I said, I'm not really particular about it, but I do like being able to have a good view, if nothing else. So having it up on top of this hill, got a pretty nice view. Plus, these canisters will refresh every so often, so once I get the Atlas Pass, I'll be able to come over here and just grab... It's probably just going to be mostly condensed carbon, but it is an easy way to get some extra material. And I did also notice as well, behind me there is, you know, some more canisters, so that's even better. I don't really care about this rusted metal. I know you can condense it down and turn it into ferrite dust, but for me it's better just go ahead and get rid of it. Don't really think I'll probably use that, but it'll be easy money. I think that's a good 20k if I'm not mistaken, at 23,000. And it looks like our chromatic metal is done, so we can go ahead and start building the base. Go ahead and place down this base computer, and what are we going to call this base? We'll just name it Noob Base. Okay, so as you guys can see, it was rejected by the profanity filter. I guess noob is considered a profanity, so I guess we're not going to call it Noob Base. We'll just leave it as the name it is now. If I see a really cool name that someone puts in the comments, I'll change it to that, but for the time being, we'll just leave it as Babian Colony. And so we need to go ahead and start building. Now, as far as I know, it doesn't really matter what you build. It tells you that you need to build a specific of each part. I think it's 1 floor, 3 walls, and a door, but you can technically just build a bunch of floors, because I know these walls cost more. But I do like to actually have a little bit of shelter from the storm, so I'm going to go ahead and just build exactly what they say to build. I can grab some more carbon. Oh, goodness. Okay. That was close. I didn't realize how low that got. Again, I'm so used to playing on, you know, regular. It's like, it's not really that big of a deal if you're playing standard mode, but on permadeath, everything is just that much more frightening. So we need pure ferrite for that, so we won't be able to move that yet, but we can go ahead and move our base computer in here. I don't really know exactly how to position this. It looks like that little piece is the side, so if we turn it here, could put it flat in there maybe? Close enough. That lets us stabilize, and we can also go ahead and place down our refiner. Now, how much was that we needed? 10. Okay. That's also 1-to-1. Yes, it is. Okay. We only need 10. Let's see if we can stop it right on the money. And so now we have our... Oh, of course we're at... Oh, okay, no, we're good, we're good. Alright, there we go. So now we have our door, so we're safe from the weathers outside. So we can speak with the computer, and it's going to tell us how to make some more stuff for our base. Okay, so it's telling us we need to extract the salvage data. And now we're going to need magnetized ferrite, and I did not pay attention to what the other thing was. Carbon nanotubes again. I think we still have a pretty... Yeah, okay. We still have enough for that. We are running low on carbon now, though, so I'll probably have to farm some of that shortly. And we need 20 magnetized ferrite. Alright, so I think we have enough ferrite dust. As you can see, the coppers are pretty mad at me for farming those rocks, so I had to come in here and hide for a minute. So let's see if we actually do have enough. I think that's perfect. I think that's exactly what we needed. I believe it was just 20. And and we ran out of carbon. Yeah, these guys are right on my case. I can't even start mining for a few seconds without them coming after me. Okay, so we have the construction research unit built, and I think the only things we need to make out of this are the teleporter and the reactor, because the wiring you get for free, and I believe these are both 2 apiece. So we need to make sure we get 4 salvage data. Hopefully we have a lot nearby. I can't exactly even remember what the icon looks like. There we go. Okay, that's definitely it. Is that the closest one? We have something nearby. Known building. We'll go check that out as well. See exactly what that is. It's probably nothing. Yeah, it looks like it's nothing. But we'll still go check it out regardless, because I see that there is a save beacon over there, and that'll give us free navigational data for later. Okay, so this ended up working out anyways, because there is some damaged machinery, and if you guys know, there's always buried technology directly, not directly below, but very close to the machinery, so that ended up helping us out. And of course it is through the bedrock, so it looks like we're not actually going to be able to get that one at all. That is very unfortunate. Hopefully we have some good RNG here and maybe get something decent. Okay, nanites are fine. I don't really ever have a problem with nanites because that's one of those things that you need for just about anything late game, so those are fine with me. Okay, so it does still look like the only other technology nearby is down here, so maybe if we're really lucky it won't be through the bedrock, and maybe if we're really lucky we'll just go ahead and get 4 right off the bat. We've already gotten our first achievement, which is the 8,000 U, take 8,000 steps. I'm not entirely sure what the U stands for. I always just say units, but something tells me that's probably not accurate. Okay, so that was probably about as unlucky. Okay, never mind. We got 2, so that's fine. I thought it was only going to give us 1. It was going really slow at the beginning, so I was a little bit worried. So we need 2 more, but we do have that storm coming, so we better watch out for that. And we got nanites again. We should be stockpiling pretty high. Yeah, we're up to 135, and I think it's normally around 400 for an S-class upgrade, so we're not too far off. With the luck we're having with these damaged machineries, we'll probably hit that in no time. I'm going to hide out in this cave until the storm clears, and then I will continue on with our journey. So instead of waiting for the storm to pass over, as you can see, my hazard protection for some reason isn't recharging even though I'm in a tunnel. What I decided to do was just tunnel over to directly below this, rather than just sitting there waiting, doing nothing in the meantime. So hopefully we get lucky. I think we got 2 on the first one, so we need to make sure we get at least 2 here, and then we should be good to go with this part of the story. I'm not going to worry about getting the batteries quite yet. I can get those a little bit later. I'm not super hard pressed for those at the moment. And so we finally got the salvage data, and it looks like we did get exactly 2. Now I'm not sure what to do because I'm at a point where I don't have any spare sodium, and I'm afraid to go out there for too long because we'll take too much damage. As you can see, we're almost out on our first set of life, and then we do have the 3 extra, I guess, shields. So we won't die immediately, but I need to make sure that I get a good look around. It looks like we do have some sodium right up here, so this shouldn't be too bad. I do have a little bit of oxygen left after making that oxygen recycler, but I don't know if it's quite enough to refill the entire bar. Okay, got us close. We need to make sure we pick up some ion batteries as well as the life support gels. Oh, okay. I didn't realize you could destroy those plants. That is unfortunate. Okay, I'm really struggling here. Hopefully we don't lose it. I picked up sodium, but for some reason it's not letting me recharge my hazard protection. I'm not sure what's going on there. It's like not even acting like it's an option. Oh, I don't know if this is new. Let me know down in the comments any veteran players to permadeath. Is this normal where whenever you run out of protection, for instance, like I have to repair this now? Is that a normal occurrence, or is that something that they've added with 4.0? Because I know, like I said, I've played survival before, but never permadeath, and that definitely was not a thing in survival. I'm just hoping that I have enough ferrite dust to actually get this without having to go outside and take extra damage. It was only 30, so we're lucky we can hit some of these smaller rocks to get that little bit that we need left. Oh, it was 50. Okay, never mind. Okay, so we barely scrounged up enough to be able to repair that, and we need to make sure we go ahead and put sodium in there right away. That's barely anything, but I think we should be able to make it back to our base with that amount, and maybe along the way we'll find some more sodium. Okay, it doesn't look like it. There is some sodium nearby, but I think it'd be best to just go ahead and go back to our base and let it completely refill, rather than having to mess with that. It looks like we might actually end up breaking our hazard material again, our hazard protection. Maybe we can make it there though before it breaks. So we did manage to make it back to the base. It was very close. We didn't like take a lot of damage. Like I can't really bring it up, but we still have our full shields. We didn't lose any shields or any health packs, anything like that. So we're still good there, but I did notice that whenever I came inside the base, this did not break even though it was completely empty. So I'm not sure exactly what happened on the first time. Maybe some of you permadeath pros might have an answer to that question. But yeah, I don't really know exactly what happened and what caused it to break the first time. But we do have our 4 salvage data, so we can go ahead and collect what we need from here to build the teleporter setup. Okay, so we only actually needed 3, but that's fine. We would have used it anyway, so we can get the signal booster. However, you do get that later in the story for free, so I think I'll just go ahead and go with the save beacon just to easily mark some stuff in case we find something really cool. But that is where we're going to end off today, and in the next episode we will resume on the tutorial. Once we get the tutorial done, then that's whenever I'll start working on collecting the money to buy the ship. Again, I know it's kind of a cop-out answer to go ahead and just skip getting the ship for now, but I didn't want to make the first 3 or 4 episodes just me gathering the money to buy a ship, because that would just be super boring to watch, and at least this way I'll be getting the money as I go through and, you know, do the tutorial as well. So it's kind of like kill 2 birds with 1 stone type of deal. But anyways guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you found the video entertaining, even slightly at all, consider leaving a like, as it lets me know that you guys like this series and I can continue to make more parts to this series. And if you have any sort of critiques or anything that you want to suggest down in the comments, leave it down below. I try to get around to all the comments as soon as I possibly can. And a lot of times I like to take the comments from the previous videos and try to implement it into the next video. So definitely leave comments. Again, let me know what you guys want to see, and I will catch you guys in the next video. This has been Colmatt. Peace out.